Hello, my name is Scott Hilton, and I am a senior lecturer here at the University of Texas at Arlington in the photography program. And I've made a video to introduce you to the photography program and some of the classes that we offer that you can take and hopefully have a good time and learn from. So, to start with, we have the Intro to Photo Concepts course. Now, this class is designed for somebody who might be a novice photographer. We can train you in how to use a DSLR camera or how to use your phone camera, but to use it a little better. And we will go over the basics of what makes for a good photograph, which oftentimes involves just understanding a few things that are particular about ideas of photographic composition, the use of light and of shadow, and how to use some of the more sophisticated elements of making a nice photograph. For instance, this one that uses a slow shutter speed to make a blurry figure in the photograph. And we also, in this course, will kind of go over some of the things about how to look at a photograph or how to make photographs that can evoke emotion or feeling and how to use the elements of photography to do that. And also how to have some fun with photography, use color, and in general, just up your photography game and teach you some of the basics. Now, past our intro class, we have another course called Black and White Photography. This class is actually a hybrid of digital and film. So it does involve using film cameras. So we teach you how to develop and print your own photographs in our classic wet darkroom. But the course also involves shooting digitally and understanding some of the subtle things that you deal with in using black and white as your photographic medium as opposed to color. And we look at things like tonal value and how to maximize your editing to really take advantage of gray tones and also to consider some of the conceptual elements of using a black and white photograph as opposed to a color photograph. Now, we do also have a class in color photography. And in the color photography class, we talk about the use of color, the kind of symbolic use of color, the ways that you can use color in a very sophisticated way by mixing warm colors and cool colors, the ways that incorporating strong or bold colors can influence how readers or how viewers look at your photographs and how to make them have some visual punch to them, and also some elements of photographic color theory, the way that colors interact with each other in a photograph, and so ways of using more subtle versions of color photographs, because not every photograph is best if by using saturated or intense color. Sometimes a more subtle approach to color can actually be very, very interesting. We have a course in digital imaging. Now, this is somewhat different than the digital media class that you may have taken as one of the core foundation courses. This is digital imaging. Digital imaging is a photo-based course, but it is really based around the use of Photoshop and its abilities to do what we call compositing. That is, to take multiple photographs and combine them together in ways that can make imagery that is interesting and evocative, what most people generally just refer to as photoshopping. You know, we go over the real nuts and bolts of how Photoshop works as a compositing program, how you can take multiple images, combine them together. Of course, Photoshop also gives the ability to use text and combine that into a photographic image. We teach you about things like using layers in your photographic image so that you can incorporate multiple images into a single image and edit each layer independently, really allowing you to very highly customize the appearance of your photographs. Then another course that we teach is our course in studio lighting. We have a light studio in the photography program, and the class in studio lighting is really designed around the use of some pretty sophisticated flash equipment, some photo flash that you use in a studio environment. Of course, this is a very nicely marketable skill, oftentimes used in advertising photography, portrait photography, and there is a whole language of photographic lighting that we teach you about in the studio photography class. Now, mostly what people do in this course is portraiture, of course, that makes sense. Um, but we learn a lot about how to use the lights and also how to use light itself as a means of creating visual interest and excitement in your photographs. Then the next course that we have that I'm going to talk about is called Staged Environments. And this is kind of a conceptual-based course that really kind of looks at photographs that are made in a way where it's not like about you going out with your camera into the world and finding things to photograph. It's really about the conceptualizing or thinking ahead of time of what your photograph is going to be, what your photograph is about, and creating a story is a big part of the staged photography class. One assignment that we do in this course is called the Tableau Vivant assignment, and this is one where we have groups of students work together collaboratively, where you pick a historical painting and then restage it as a photograph using lighting, using props, using costumes. And oftentimes it's kind of fun to take one of these historical painting images and maybe change it up a little bit to change the meaning somewhat. Then the top level course that we have in the photo program is the advanced photography class. Now, the advanced photography class generally has a theme that the instructor decides upon, and it involves a lot of looking at examples of photographs by contemporary photographic artists. There's also generally a lot of reading involved, so you read about different elements of the current state of photographic artistic production. But oftentimes, by the time students get into the advanced course, many of them have a bit of an idea about what they're about as a photographer or the things that they're interested in. And the advanced course is really a way for advanced level students to refine their vision, to learn a little bit more about how their artwork fits within the broader discussions about contemporary art, and a way of kind of putting a fine touches and developing your ideas in your photography to the best and most efficient and maximally effective way. And that's a very basic overview of what we do here in the photo program. Hope you've seen some interesting images. We'd love to have you in some of our courses. Thank you for listening.